Are you looking for ways to make your lessons more relevant and fun? Have you been thinking about using projects in your lessons? Or have you seen the term PBL being thrown around but you're not really sure what it refers to? I'm Rubens Heredia, one of your Pavilion LT vloggers, and in our 2023 video series we're investigating different resources we can use to make our lessons more effective, engaging and fun. And in this video I'll talk to you about 5 ways in which projects can be incorporated into your practice to help students practice inside and outside the classroom. Do you want to know how? So come with me. First of all, we all need to agree on what we mean by projects. There are many possible definitions, but I particularly like the one James Anderson gives us in an article for Modern English Teacher. According to him, project-based learning involves learners working in fixed groups for a planned period to research a phenomenon or study a problem and produce one or more products in the target language as evidence of their inquiry. In that sense, a project is not something we do in one lesson, but something that we work on throughout the lessons of a given term or course. Because of that, projects usually give students great sense of achievement and purpose, as each lesson will contribute to that final product, the project deliverable. Sounds complicated? So let's cut to the chase. Tip number 1, use projects with your adult students. Lots of people associate projects with young learners or teenagers. Primary and secondary schools have been using it for decades, but there's nothing in project-based learning that restricts it to younger audiences. In fact, I have successfully used projects with adult students in a business English context. The key here is identifying what kind of tasks and projects are relevant to your students and incorporate them into your project. If students see the relevance, they are likely to buy in. Here are some ideas of different types of projects you can use with adult students. A travel guide to their hometown, a Wikipedia entry about a person from their community, a culture guide to business partners visiting their country, an advertising campaign for a product, a business plan for a company, or a presentation pitching a startup to investors. If you are not confident about selecting projects to be used with adult students, wait until tip number 5. I'm sure it will help you do just that. Tip number 2, break down goals throughout the course. Projects are long-term activities. This means they require some extra planning and organization. On many occasions, I had intentions of using projects with students and set them earlier on in the course, but then forgot to do meaningful follow-up. So the project ended up being done in a rush towards the end of the term. This is not ideal and prevents us from achieving the full potential of projects. Fatima Taha shared her experience using project-based learning with students in Egypt in an article for Modern English Teacher. According to her, what I can share with you from my experiment is that it demands consistency on both levels. The teachers, as you will always need to keep them on track, and the students, to always remind themselves of their goal, as it is easy to lose motivation if it takes time to see results. In order to keep students motivated and have some clarity of goals, it might be a good idea to set some time aside for projects on a regular basis. You might have a dedicated slot for the project at the end of every lesson, once a week, once a month, or whatever suits your timetable, the complexity of the project, and the specific conditions of your group. Tip number 3, help students develop other skills. Our students come to us because they want to develop their linguistic skills, that's a fact. However, our lessons can help students in many different ways, going beyond just improving communication in English. Content Language Integrated Learning, or CLIL, has been used by teachers from all over the world, helping students not only improve their English, but also improve their knowledge about the world. Projects are great for cross-cultural integration. The skills that students are going to develop in order to perform the tasks that will lead to the completion of the project can go beyond language skills. According to Tim Thompson, who shared his use of podcasts as projects in an article for Modern English Teacher, even if they never speak English again in their lives, they will be able to transfer the skills and experiences acquired throughout podcasting into future projects conducted in their first language. Students say that they now feel more confident taking on new challenges in both their first and second languages. Maybe podcasting is not the type of skills that your students want to develop, but that's okay. There are certainly other skills that can be of use. For example, if you're working with adult students in the corporate world, you might help them develop project management skills. If you're teaching younger students who are about to go into a new phase in their academic lives, research skills can be involved. Tip number 4, use technology to build the project. Just like with everything in life, if you need to do something, there's a right tool for it. When we think of classroom projects, posters, booklets, and even collage comes to mind. However, in our increasingly digital world, our projects do not need to be restricted by the physical limitations of materials. Digital tools can help students communicate more effectively to do the project, can help organize the work more successfully, it can even make the presentation of the results more engaging and fun. And if we're talking about helping students develop skills other than English, digital literacy is important now and will definitely continue to be so for the foreseeable future. Here are some digital tools that can help your students with their project. Google Classroom to centralize communication, share links and files, Padlet to either share materials or to organize the presentation, Asana or Trello to organize the different tasks and keep track of the deadlines, Tome, an AI-powered tool to make presentations, Bing Chat or Google Bard to boost your research with AI. There are numerous digital tools that you can use for the research, creation, or presentation of the results of the project. The decision of which ones to use should take into consideration your student's profile, the tools that they are already familiar with, and the tools that you would like them to learn. Tip number 5, let students have a voice. If you have been following my videos, you probably noticed that I always make suggestions that try to incorporate students' ideas into lessons. I do believe that students that have some sense of agency are more motivated to learn. As teachers, in our attempt to help students and make their lives easier, we might end up making all the decisions for them, which might stifle rather than foster creativity. According to Kat Robb, learner empowerment is the key to unlocking learning nowadays, irrespective of the context or learner profile. The reason why is directly related to the societal shifts we are experiencing. So why not let students decide on the project that you're going to work on during the term or course? If you feel that your students are not mature enough to make such decisions, you might give them a sense of choice by providing some alternatives for them to choose from. If you teach adult students, they will probably be the best people to tell you what kind of projects fit their timetable and meet their learning objectives. I hope these tips help you get ideas to use projects in lessons to make learning more engaging and fun to your learners. Have you ever used projects or project-based learning? So share your ideas with us in the comment section. You can also contact me on all social media at whatisyot. Keep learning and keep teaching.